In July 2022, researchers from the University of Liverpool and the Infectious Diseases Institute at Makerere University hosted a citizens' jury to explore the attitudes of Ugandan citizens towards electronic medical data being used for research purposes. This was the first event of its kind in Uganda. A CJ is a form of deliberative participatory research. Deliberative research focuses on exploring opinions and checking understanding. Participatory research emphasises action and engagement by members of the community. Taken together, this means that a CJ is a good way to both understand how people think and feel about a particular issue, whilst at the same time involving them in making a real change. A CJ brings together a diverse group of people to discuss complex issues in a meaningful way, to share their experiences and beliefs about the circumstances in which they are living. In a similar way to a legal trial in a courtroom, citizens' juries assume that if a group of people are brought together under the right conditions and presented with good quality evidence, they can evaluate it critically and draw their own conclusions, which will be broadly representative of the wider public. Usually between 12 and 24 people form the jury and should be representative of the demographics of a given area. They're asked to consider an issue over a period of several days and to answer a single very clear question. This approach has been used in high-income settings to discuss a variety of complex health issues. A very recent example was to discuss the emergency powers that granted increased health data sharing during the COVID-19 pandemic. Electronic health data is the computer-based record of visits to your doctor, the medicines that you take and your test results. Generally speaking, in high-income countries, where electronic records are routine, the public are in favour of using health data for research. In other parts of the world, where electronic medical records are just being introduced, community perspectives have not been explored. We considered the question, how willing or unwilling would you be to allow your medical record data to be used in a medical research study? What data and who should have access to it? 19 public participants formed the jury, recruited from the Greater Kampala region of Uganda, brought together across 2 full days. Expert witness testimony covered areas of health data use, local clinical record systems and medical ethics. It is critical that we do not assume that a methodology utilised by high-income countries can be copied verbatim in a different cultural setting, and adjustments to reflect the local population need are required. Digital literacy and smartphone use are much lower in Uganda, and many of the concepts introduced were quite novel to the jurors. To support discussion and understanding, we used a range of means of capturing information, including a video recording throughout with interactive sessions, live canvas painting from a local artist to visually collect and record the discussions, along with interpretive dance and a dramatisation of clinical scenarios and possible ethical issues undertaken in Luganda, the primary spoken language of central Uganda. The jury were unanimous that health data should be used for research, provided certain safeguards are adhered to. Patients should give consent for future use of anonymised data in research. All researchers who wish to use data must develop a clear concept with a strong data management and protection plan, and a committee of gatekeepers, including a lay member, should decide on each proposal. Finally, all jurors found the process enjoyable and enlightening and expressed a real desire to be involved in future citizens' juries.